Mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, habit by habit, choice by choice, day by day. And the truth is, most people aren't defeated by the world. They're defeated by their own patterns, their thoughts, their reactions, their lack of discipline. But when you decide to adopt the habits that make you mentally unstoppable, everything in your life begins to shift. You begin to operate from clarity instead of confusion, purpose instead of pressure, growth instead of fear. The first habit of becoming mentally unstoppable is learning to control your focus. The mind goes where your attention flows, and if your attention is scattered, your results will be as well. Most people waste their energy thinking about what they don't want, what they're afraid of, what they're trying to avoid. But mentally strong people train their minds to lock onto what matters. They choose what to give their time to, what to give their energy to, and what to walk away from. When you master your focus, you master your direction. The second habit is emotional discipline. This doesn't mean you hide how you feel. It means you don't let your emotions run your life. You don't let anger push you into decisions you'll regret. You don't let fear hold you back from opportunities. You don't let temporary feelings destroy long-term goals. You learn to pause, breathe, observe, and respond with intention. Emotional discipline isn't about being cold, it's about being in control. The third habit is learning to be consistent even when you're not motivated. Motivation is great, but it's also unreliable. It comes and goes like weather. Discipline, on the other hand, stays, and mentally unstoppable people understand that the greatest results come from doing the small, simple habits every single day, even when you're tired, even when you're bored, even when no one is watching. Consistency beats talent. Consistency beats inspiration. Consistency beats everything. The fourth habit is protecting your environment. You cannot rise when you're surrounded by people who want you to stay the same. You cannot grow when you're constantly absorbing negativity, drama, or doubt. Mentally strong people are selective. They choose friends who push them higher. They choose conversations that inspire clarity. They choose routines that strengthen their discipline. And they're not afraid to leave behind the people or places that disturb their peace. The fifth habit is taking full responsibility for your life. Not partial responsibility, not occasional responsibility, full responsibility. Mentally strong people don't blame their past, their family, their circumstances, or the world for where they are. They know that life is unfair, unpredictable, and challenging, but they also know that blaming never builds anything. When you take responsibility, you take your power back. The sixth habit is choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. Most people avoid discomfort, and as a result, they stay stuck. But mentally unstoppable people lean into discomfort because they know that pressure creates progress, challenges create character, and discipline creates freedom. When you start doing the things that are uncomfortable, waking up early, saying no, setting boundaries, studying, training, working on yourself, you become the person who can handle anything. Comfort creates softness, but discomfort creates strength. And the seventh habit is mastering your self-talk. The voice in your head becomes the soundtrack of your life. If that voice is always saying you're not good enough, you're not ready, you're not capable, then even your best efforts will be poisoned. But mentally unstoppable people train that inner voice to speak with power. They encourage themselves. They correct negative thoughts. They challenge the lies their mind tries to tell them. They speak to themselves like someone they're responsible for guiding. And when your inner voice becomes stronger than the world around you, you become unstoppable from the inside out. These 7 habits are not complicated, but they are transformational. If you practice them daily, you'll begin to notice a shift in your confidence, your clarity, your resilience, and your direction. You'll start handling situations that used to overwhelm you. You'll stay calm in moments that used to break you, and you'll move forward in ways you once believed were impossible. Mental strength doesn't show up all at once. It grows quietly, steadily, consistently. And if you're willing to build these habits, you're not just improving your mind, you're building a life that reflects your highest potential, a life that feels aligned, powerful, and unstoppable. The more you practice these habits, the more they become your default operating system, and that's when you truly feel the shift inside you. You stop reacting to life and start responding to it. You stop being controlled by chaos and start creating your own order. You begin to realize that mental strength isn't loud, it isn't aggressive, it isn't about pretending to be fearless. It's quiet, it's steady, it's the decision you make in the morning to get up, even when you don't feel like it. It's the restraint you show when you could lash out, but choose wisdom instead. It's the patience to keep showing up, even when the results are not visible yet. It's the refusal to let temporary emotions ruin permanent progress. When you understand this, you stop trying to look strong and you start becoming strong. One of the biggest misunderstandings people have is thinking mental strength is about never breaking down. But true strength is the ability to bend without breaking, to feel deeply without being controlled by those feelings, to fall down without staying there. Being mentally unstoppable doesn't mean you never feel tired, discouraged, or afraid. It means you don't let those feelings decide your future. You keep moving anyway. You find a way forward anyway. You choose discipline over doubt anyway. And the more you make those choices, the easier they become, because strength grows through repetition. You also begin to understand that mental toughness isn't something people can see. It shows up in the choices no one else knows about. It shows up when you turn off distractions to focus on a goal. It shows up when you don't respond to negativity because your peace is more valuable. It shows up when you push yourself to improve instead of comparing yourself to others. It shows up when you say no to things that drain you and yes to things that build you. These small choices compound, shaping you into someone who cannot be easily shaken. And something else begins to happen as your mindset gets stronger. You stop needing validation. You stop needing people to understand you. You stop needing approval to chase what you know is right for you. You stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect situation, the perfect confidence. You act, you build, you grow, you move. You start becoming the kind of person who trusts their intuition, who believes in their future, who refuses to be limited by their past. Mental strength gives you this freedom. It gives you stability in moments of uncertainty. It gives you clarity when life gets noisy. It gives you the resilience to face challenges without losing yourself. And when you combine that kind of strength with consistent habits, you become an entirely different version of yourself, more focused, more disciplined, more grounded, and more capable. And the people around you will notice the change, not because you talk about it, but because you live it. You'll stop chasing things that don't align with your values. You'll stop allowing people to drain your energy. You'll stop settling for environments that don't support your growth. You'll begin walking with purpose, speaking with intention, and acting with confidence. Your mindset will no longer be something that reacts to the world. It will be something that shapes it. And that's the real transformation. Becoming mentally unstoppable is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about choosing strength over excuses, direction over distraction, purpose over comfort. It's about deciding every day that your future matters more than your fear. If you build these habits and stay consistent, you'll look back one day and realize that the person you became was worth every challenge, every late night, every early morning, and every moment of discomfort. You'll realize that the strength you were searching for was something you had to build piece by piece, choice by choice, day by day. And once you develop that level of mental resilience, there is nothing and no one that can stop you from creating the life you were meant to live. When you reach the point where your habits begin shaping your identity, you start to understand that becoming mentally unstoppable is less about the big dramatic moments and more about the small, consistent decisions you make every single day. You begin to see that strength is built quietly in the background, long before anyone else notices the change. It's in the way you choose to get up when you feel tired, the way you choose to focus when distractions call your name, the way you choose to stay patient when progress feels slow. These choices create a kind of internal momentum that gets stronger with time. And before you realize it, you're not just practicing habits anymore, you're becoming someone who naturally gravitates toward discipline, clarity, and growth. You stop fighting your old weaknesses and start outgrowing them because your new standards leave no room for your old limitations. And when you experience that shift, it becomes clear that mental strength is really a kind of freedom. It frees you from depending on motivation because you learn to act with or without it. It frees you from fear because you learn to move forward even when fear is present. It frees you from insecurity because you learn to trust your ability to figure things out as you go. You realize that you don't need to have everything perfect. You just need to have the courage to start and the discipline to keep going. And that mindset alone puts you ahead of most people because so many never take the first step, and even fewer stay committed long enough to see the transformation. But as you continue building this mental foundation, you begin to think differently. You begin to approach challenges differently. Instead of asking, wait, why is this happening to me? You ask, what is this trying to teach me? You stop running from difficulty and start understanding that every obstacle contains an opportunity to grow. You see pressure as something that shapes you, not something that destroys you. You begin to embrace discomfort because you understand that nothing about your life expands by staying in your comfort zone. Growth demands movement. It demands friction. It demands that you walk into uncertainty with faith in your ability to adapt. And the more you do this, the more unstoppable you become because you develop emotional endurance, the ability to stay steady under stress, to stay grounded under pressure, to stay focused even when life gets noisy. This endurance makes you someone who doesn't break easily under the weight of responsibility or difficulty. Instead, you rise to it, you learn from it, you use it, and because of that, you start operating in a way that separates you from the crowd. You stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You stop letting temporary setbacks throw you off your path. You stop allowing negative voices, both external and internal, to dictate your potential. You recognize that success isn't given to the strongest or the smartest. It's given to the most consistent, the most disciplined, the most resilient. And that's exactly what these habits are turning you into. Someone who does not quit, someone who does not fold, someone who does not run at the first sign of difficulty, but something else happens as you strengthen your mind. You gain control over your emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding them. You stop reacting impulsively. You stop taking things personally. You stop letting anger, jealousy, or insecurity lead your decisions. Instead, you respond with intention. You analyze before you act. You breathe before you speak. This emotional maturity becomes one of your greatest advantages because it helps you see situations clearly, make better choices, and avoid unnecessary conflict. It also protects your energy in ways you didn't even realize you needed. When your mind is strong, you stop letting every comment, every opinion, every criticism sink into your spirit. You begin to understand that not everything requires your reaction, your time, or your attention. You learn that guardrails are not walls, they are boundaries that help you protect your peace and stay focused on what truly matters. And when your peace becomes a priority, you start to notice how much stronger you become. Because a grounded mind is a powerful mind. Suddenly you're moving through life with intention instead of anxiety. You're pursuing goals with clarity instead of confusion. You're walking away from situations that drain you without feeling guilty. That's what mental strength gives you, the ability to steer your life instead of being pulled in every direction by distractions and emotions you can't control. You become someone who knows what you want, who knows what you stand for, and who knows what they will no longer allow. And when you reach that level of personal clarity, your decisions become sharper, your actions become bolder, and your results become greater. But mental strength does something even deeper. It changes the way you see yourself. You stop viewing yourself through the lens of your past mistakes or failures. You stop doubting your potential simply because you've struggled before. Instead, you begin to see yourself as someone capable, someone evolving, someone worthy of a future that looks different from your past. You stop waiting for permission to live the life you want. You start giving yourself that permission. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You start creating it. And this shift, this internal awakening, becomes the force that drives you forward even when the road gets difficult. That's why these habits matter so much. They're not just routines, they are the architecture of the person you are becoming. They are the blueprint of your future self, the version of you that doesn't waver, doesn't fold, doesn't give up. The version of you that stays committed even when no one is watching, that believes in the bigger picture even when the results are slow, that trusts the process even when the path feels uncertain. And when you look back months or years from now, you'll realize that these habits, these small daily acts of discipline, are the reason you are living a life you once thought was out of reach. Because the truth is simple. Once your mindset changes, your whole life changes with it. And once you become mentally unstoppable, there is nothing in this world that can block the path you are willing to walk with courage, clarity, and conviction.